Monsieur le vice-président... Oui, il faut que je me rapproche un peu, excusez-moi. Monsieur le vice-président de la région Grand Est, cher François, représentant le président de la région Grand Est et la métropole du Grand Nancy également. J'excuse le président de l'université de la Sarre qui devait être présent, mais qui hélas n'a pas pu nous rejoindre. Monsieur le commandant de la base de défense de Nancy. Monsieur le directeur du centre INRIA Grand Est, que j'ai... Sylvain, monsieur le directeur du Lauria, cher Jean-Yves, monsieur le directeur de Télécom Nancy, cher Olivier, mesdames et messieurs les anciens présidents, vice-présidents, directeurs de pôle scientifique, directeurs de collégium, directeurs de laboratoire, doyens de faculté, lieber Professor Bacchus, dear colleagues, mesdames et messieurs, chers collègues. C'est vraiment un plaisir que d'ouvrir cette première cérémonie de docteur honoris causa de l'Université de Lorraine 2018, ici au Lauria, en partenariat avec l'école Télécom Nancy, pour une cérémonie qui est renouvelée dans sa forme. Renouvelée dans sa forme parce que nous avons décidé qu'il était peut-être bien de remettre ces insignes de docteur honoris causa au plus près des laboratoires et des communautés. Donc vous êtes les premiers ou la première cérémonie qui se passe dans ce cadre-là. Cette cérémonie, elle vise à mettre à l'honneur un estimé collègue de la communauté scientifique, qui est le professeur Michael Bacchus, qui est professeur à l'université de la Sarre. Sur les détails en informatique, je rappelle que je suis physico-chimiste, je laisserai plutôt Jean-Yves Marion, avec les termes appropriés, souligner le remarquable parcours de M. Bacchus, mais je vais quand même en dire un mot. Étudiant brillant à l'université de la Sarre en informatique et en mathématiques, docteur à 23 ans, donc jeune, il l'est toujours, still young. Il devient chercheur au centre IBM de Zurich et devient professeur en 2006. Il dirige actuellement le centre CISPA, qui est un centre pour la cybersécurité. Au-delà d'un parcours individuel, cher Michael, vous témoignez d'un souci permanent de la transmission par vos nombreux enseignements et séminaires et par les quelques 24 thèses que vous avez encadrées ou encadrez encore. Vous témoignez également de votre volonté de mener à bien des engagements collectifs et je pense que l'un des plus visibles actuellement est la création du CISPA, donc de ce centre de cybersécurité en Allemagne. Chers amis, vous savez combien la thématique de la cybersécurité nous est chère. Chère au cœur de notre communauté académique parce que je pense que vous ici, d'ailleurs, pour un grand nombre, vous y participez dans vos recherches. Elle est aussi au cœur de notre métropole du Grand Nancy, qu'il a inscrite dans son pacte, et elle est aussi inscrite au niveau de la grande région Grand Est, de la région Grand Est. Je parlerai de la grande région après, excusez-moi la confusion, mais entre grandes régions, on en partage tellement. La cybersécurité civile est également un thème cher à notre label Lorraine Université d'Excellence, financé par le programme des investissements d'avenir français. Les enjeux sont nombreux à l'ère de l'Internet des objets, et nous avons retenu au terme de plusieurs réflexions le thème de la confiance dans le numérique et à l'ensemble des citoyens comme étant un thème qui pouvait englober un défi sociétal tel que Lorraine Université d'Excellence veut les poser. Il dépasse la question de l'informatique, mais l'informatique y reste au cœur. Et il nous interroge tous. Les questions de vie privée, de la préservation des libertés individuelles sont souvent mises en regard de la capacité des autorités à les contrôler. De même, la simplification procurée par les outils du numérique ou la sécurité qu'ils peuvent procurer ne doivent pas obérer la capacité à maintenir le secret de la vie privée des citoyens. Au-delà de ça, la cybersécurité est aussi un enjeu de notre monde moderne parce que l'ensemble de nos systèmes d'information, et plus qu'ici, je crois, on sait qu'ils peuvent être attaqués, qu'ils peuvent être piratés, qu'ils peuvent mettre la société dans une situation difficile. Et donc, il est extrêmement important que cette thématique, que nous partageons d'ailleurs avec l'armée en région et que nous partageons avec un autre grand centre français qui est celui de Rennes, soit une thématique importante pour notre université. Les sciences du numérique se font un devoir de poser les questions sous un angle scientifique. Ce faisant, elles permettent aussi de dépasser certaines croyances, parce que nous avons aussi à lutter contre certaines croyances. La thématique permet de tisser des liens évidents avec les sciences humaines, la cybersécurité, les sciences sociales, mais aussi le droit. Ces sujets nous touchent tous, ils nous passionnent, car l'époque que nous traversons est passionnante de changement. Quelquefois, je vous avouerai qu'il y en a beaucoup en termes de changement institutionnel et pas de changement de la société. J'ai assez parlé peut-être de cybersécurité, et je pense que Jean-Yves le fera beaucoup mieux que moi. Je voudrais revenir sur le titre de docteur honoris causa que nous allons remettre aujourd'hui. Il a été décidé par les plus hautes instances universitaires dans un cheminement qui est celui d'une proposition des composantes de formation et de recherche, ici Télécom Nancy et le lauréat, analysé par le conseil scientifique, adoubé par le conseil d'administration. Et cette année, nous aurons 3 docteurs honoris causa et une autre fierté, en plus de celle d'avoir un brillant scientifique, c'est celle d'avoir aussi 2 docteurs honoris causa, ce qui n'était pas arrivé depuis un certain temps. Et donc, si la parité n'y est pas, ce n'est pas grave. Je pense que c'est aussi un signe de l'évolution, et ça ce sera pour les prochaines remises, d'ailleurs, qui se passeront à la faculté des sciences, je crois, pour la prochaine, en chimie théorique, qui n'est pas très loin de l'informatique. Comme son nom l'indique, le docteur honoris causa est une distinction honorifique. Il confie plus des devoirs que des droits, mais aujourd'hui, nous comptons encore plus sur ces docteurs honoris causa pour que ce soit des ambassadeurs de l'Université de Lorraine à travers ce titre qu'ils portent, mais aussi qu'ils soient des liens entre les institutions que sont l'Université de Lorraine, le CISPA et l'Université de la Sarre. Nous savons pouvoir compter sur vous, Michael, pour nourrir séminaires et enseignements à destination de nos étudiants, qu'ils soient de master, élèves ingénieurs ou docteurs. Ils sont certes digital natives, mais ils doivent connaître les limites, maîtriser les enjeux et apprivoiser les dessous de la technologie. Enfin, nous comptons sur votre action pour le développement nourri des relations entre le lauréat et le CISPA dans le cadre de nos stratégies transfrontalières. L'alignement des astres est sans doute le bon aujourd'hui pour pouvoir construire ensemble un centre européen de cybersécurité de référence. Les enjeux sont partagés et les savoir-faire nombreux en ce domaine, au CISPA comme au lauréat. Les investissements ont été portés par les collectivités, les établissements de recherche et l'université. Et Lorraine Université d'Excellence est au cœur de ce dispositif avec le projet Impact DigiTrust. C'est bien la conscience des enjeux de la sécurité des données dans un monde numérique en constante mutation auquel nos chercheurs se confrontent au quotidien et la population également. Je voudrais finir cette courte introduction pour remercier les personnes qui vous ont proposé pour ce titre, le professeur Jean-Yves Marion d'une part et le professeur Olivier Ferstor. Il vous apparaîtra aussi que ces 2 promoteurs ne sont pas complètement étrangers au sujet de la cybersécurité. Et je voudrais aussi remercier l'ensemble de la communauté qui a porté votre candidature, parce que c'est une très belle candidature d'un scientifique extrêmement brillant, prometteur, et avec lequel la promesse n'est pas seulement l'excellence, mais une collaboration amicale et effective dans le domaine de la cybersécurité. Je vous remercie. Je vais maintenant demander à Jean-Yves Marion de bien vouloir nous faire l'éloge, ce ne sera pas trop difficile, du professeur Backes.
Bonjour à tous. Je ne vais pas parler en français parce que Michael Backes n'est pas français. Je ne vais pas non plus parler allemand parce que, hélas, mes études d'allemand sont... Bon, je ne vais pas parler de mes études d'allemand, il faut mieux pas en parler. Donc je vais parler en anglais, qui est la seule autre langue que je possède à peu près. Donc vous allez devoir subir mon anglais pendant quelques minutes. So, with Olivier Fester, Director of Telecom Nancy, it is a real pleasure to welcome you, Michael Backes, today here. Michael Backes is a world-class leader in computer security, and I'm going to prove it. Michael obtained his PhD in 2002 in Saarland University. You began as a researcher at IBM Zurich, and then you obtained a position of professor at Saarland University in 2005, and a position at Max Planck Institute for software system in 2007. In 2011, you founded and you were the scientific director of CISPA, and CISPA, as the president told us, is an institute for computer security, which is one of the major institutes in Germany and soon in Europe with us. And very recently, you are the chair of CISPA Helmholtz, and I think it is the 19th center in Germany, Helmholtz Center in Germany. So, bravo. Now I'm going to make 4 focus on your scientific life. I read all your papers and so on. No, it's a lie. But I try to read and to understand what you have done for all this year, and it's a really great job. So the first focus, I will talk about privacy. So what is privacy? Privacy is the right to control your data, to make things very simple and to really to understand. Think about, for example, health data, or another example, to think about the data of a company which is hosted in a cloud, in a foreign cloud. So during the year at IBM, you work on this project named EP3P, which is a system that guarantees privacy policies. And this work was awarded by the IBM Outstanding Achievement Award and also by the Microsoft Award for Outstanding Research in Privacy Enhancing Technology. Then back to the University of Saarland in 2005, you pursue this work on privacy, and you work on the automation of the verification of internet protocol in order putting things a bit quickly to check that there is no information linking from this kind of protocol. As you know, these internet protocols are used daily by us as soon as you are surfing on the internet. That's why it's so important that no confidential information is leaking. Think about your credit card number, for example. From this work, as a result of this work, you develop or co-develop an application on the smartphone Android named AppGuard, which is used by 2 million of people, and who was awarded this application named AppGuard by the German IT Security Prize, which is conferred every 2 years. Also, the application was cited by the magazine named CHIP, C-H-I-P, as one of the 10 best applications of the 2013 year. You still work on privacy issues, and you won the French prize of CNIL and INRIA. And with 2 other colleagues, you got ERC grant, a Synergy ERC grant. The second focus that I would like to make about your research is about security critical applications. And then, Michael, you make a key move in this subject. At least I think so. The certification of critical application relies or use essentially 2 ingredients. The first one is about complex protocol, and the second one is about cryptography. Just again to make a clear illustration, think about electronic voting systems. An electronic voting system should resist against an attack which may alter votes, and as a result, jeopardize our democratic principles. So here, there is 2 issues. The first one are complex protocols, and the second one are cryptography. For complex protocol, we used to prove their correctness by using formal methods and making formal proofs. On the other hand, for cryptography, we used to do proof by hand, human proof by hand. So your idea was to propose a new paradigm, a new framework to integrate both protocol and cryptographic proof, taking in some sense the best of 2 worlds. And this result was receive a prize, the IBM Faculty Award, for all the aspects of your works. The next focus that I would like to do is about security by design. You see, you see the large spectrum of research of Michael. Today, most of our computer system, our digital system, are vulnerable. You know that. For example, I think it was at the beginning of the weekend, there's this Facebook attack with 50 million of accounts which were attacked. We don't really know what's happened, and even Facebook are not sure what's happened. So our system, our computer system, is kind of fragile tower of computer components. And so to protect them, we put some protection of the top of this tower. But there are another approach, there is another approach, which is to taking account security in the development of computer components into the development of computer systems. And for this work, Michael obtained a second ERC grant to pursue this work on security by design. So if you are good in maths, that means 2 ERC grants. The last one, the fourth focus that I would like to do is about side channel attacks. I think it's really worth to mention it because it's a very nice piece of work. Side channel attacks are this kind of attacks which are against computer system implementations. What does that mean? That means that some attacker can listen, for example, the noise of some digital devices, or to look at the screen blinking, or yet to look at the heat of the processors. And from this data, they are able to recover some information, and sometimes some key information like passwords or something like that. Michael proposed 2 novel side channel attacks, which were widely reported in German newspaper and TV, even in the New York Times, and it's quite an important results to show this kind of attacks and to be prepared to face this kind of attacks. So, with these 4 points, 4 research focus, I think I make my point, I prove that you are a great researcher. But you are not only a great researcher, you're also a professor. And you obtain 3 times the prize of the best lecturer by the students of the computer science department. You also funded some bachelor in computer security and also work on other diplomas and degrees. Professor Barkes has a high international reputation as an expert in computer security. That's why Olivier and I, we propose him as a doctor honoris causa of Lorraine University. Today we are working together, and for example, in a couple of weeks, I don't remember exactly the date, we are organizing, CISPA and Loria, a workshop on security and big data. There are several other collaborations between our both institutions. And for example, there is one that I like. It is Aurore Fass, who graduated from Telecom Nancy. I think she was a major of her promotion, correct, Olivier? And now she is working with Michael as a PhD student. So you see there is real collaboration between both CISPA and Loria. It's really a great pleasure and honor to have you here, Michael. Computer security is a real issue for our society. And it is quite paradoxical that in our digital world with no border, to see the rise of nationalism, spying us, sending fake news. That's why I think it's very important to increase our collaborations, because we share the same values, because we already work together in a true friendship since now several years. Before ending, I would like to warmly thank Olivier Festor, director of Telecom Nancy, who works on the construction of our relationship between both institutions and between all the institutions involved.
Michael, please. Nous allons remettre les titres et insignes de docteur. Ils sont cachés. Venez par là. Venez par là. Alors, je vais essayer de faire quelque chose. Mon nom, c'est Mutzenart. D'accord ? Le premier qui rit à ma prononciation allemande comprendra que, malgré mon nom, je ne parle pas bien allemand. J'expliquerai en privé pourquoi. Die Universität de Lorraine freut sich sehr und ist sehr stolz, Ihnen die Ehrendoktorwürde zu verleihen. Au nom de la communauté académique Lorraine, qui compte ici l'université, le CNRS et INRIA, au nom de la coopération qui nous unit et qui sera encore plus intense, je le crois, plus tard, j'ai l'honneur et le grand plaisir de vous remettre les insignes et titres de docteur honoris causa de l'Université de Lorraine. Félicitations. Merci. On va tourner pour une petite photo. Voilà. N'envoyez pas la musique tout de suite. Quelques cadeaux. Ils sont coquins. Alors, quelques cadeaux, Michael. Je vais les commenter. Vous m'entendez derrière ? Quelque chose qui représente la Lorraine et qui représente l'art à Nancy. Un dôme, you know Crystal from Dome. So he will take this for you.
That sounds good.
Want to make sure. This is something which is made specially for the University of Lorraine, and it is made in a very small village near my place, and it's designed by software engineering, and then pressed by some people. So you see the logo of the University of Lorraine, and it's really a special design for Dr. Honoris Causa. Is the second one? You have this. And two things, because we are in Nancy, and okay, you know that we have a historical house, Villa Bergeret, in the it is in the University of Lorraine, and I hope you can visit it. And because of this book, you will have to come again and again to visit this place, because it's wonderful. So it will help us. And this is something else, because you have to learn French.
That's what I thought.
And this is a comic strip, because you know in France we have this Ma thèse en 180 secondes, which is for people who want to get a PhD, an experience to present their work in 3 minutes with a jury, and there is an international competition and a national and international competition. And at the University of Lorraine, some people have the idea to make this comic strip in 2 pages. You have one research subject. So,
Okay.
So it's funny, and it gives you really an overview of the diversity of research that are made at the University of Lorraine. And by the way, you can learn French. So I think now we are ready. Je vous demande de vous lever pour l'hymne allemand en l'honneur de Michael. It's your time to say a few words to all the community, so we will take care of all.
That sounds great. Thanks. So, dear Mr. President, Olivier, Jean-Yves, so I feel deeply flattered, and this is one of these very few moments in life where I'm not really know what to say. So this is pretty rare. Believe me, getting a national anthem standing in front is not something you get very often. Actually, the very first time in my life, and probably the last one. So I'm trying to enjoy that. So I feel deeply flattered and honored to receive this great honor, especially at a still young academic age. So being 40, this is not what usually happens. So I was completely surprised when I heard it. But I think it's an appreciation of apparently what I've done, and also that people appreciate here what I do for the greater region. And later on, also the connection between CISPA and Laurea. So I thought about writing a formal speech on the weekend, and I decided against it. So my impression is this is one of these very rare moments in life where you can just fully improvise because you're happy. So I hope that works out. Yeah. I have some notes, but I'll just try. So some thanks first. So, well, Clearly, most importantly, my deepest thanks to Olivier and to Jean-Yves for nominating me, for endorsing me. So without your initiative, clearly nothing like this would have ever happened. So we all wouldn't be here. So maybe you would with another doctor honoris causa. This I don't know, but I clearly would not be here. So thanks a lot for supporting me. I also want to take the time to thank my colleagues at CISPA in Saarbrücken. So I think you can only be as good. So being a professor, you can only be as good as your students. That's something what I learned. You can push them, you can try to form them, you can motivate them, but in the end, you need smart people that do great work. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So a lot of thanks to my students, postdocs, faculty, colleagues, HEVIs, all the people that helped me building up one of the largest research centers in the world in Saarbrücken in the last couple of years. So having that said, also just quickly some thanks to our local government. It's amazing if local politicians listen to what you want to do. It's amazing if they really believe in you, if they give you the money when you need it, and in the end they'll let you do whatever your vision is. And I'm deeply grateful that they let me pursue my vision, especially after they realized that apparently my vision is good for them. Yeah. So I should say I always had a very strong connection to France. This is not surprising. I grew up in the state of Saarland. So if you grew up in Saarland, then naturally you're deeply connected to the area. By mutual visits, we always tried to get over the border, talk to some people. We had school visits, all these kind of things. And naturally, the way of living is heavily French influenced. So if you go to Saarbrücken and just enjoy the summer life, this is exactly how you can only do it, I think, at the French border. So it's not that surprising, actually, that I feel deeply connected to the area. And I should say this also manifested in research activities. So I think Jean-Yves already mentioned this. We have joint projects, we have student exchanges, we have large-scale joint projects, and we have even bigger initiatives, which I think we should, well, maybe take this opportunity and push this further and eventually also make it a reality, knowing that all this is very, very difficult. But I think we should agree just to do this based on own funding. I'll come to this at the end. So I should say, so we had a few words on cybersecurity. And I think we live in amazing times, right? At least for a cybersecurity researcher. So we have so many things currently that go wrong that need to be fixed. Yeah? So life will never get boring. And I think it's exactly the right and an amazing region for doing so. I mean, it's because of Nancy being strong in the area. It's because of Luxembourg being strong in the area. It's because of Saarbrücken being strong in the area. And I think I want to use this opportunity to just, well, maybe call for a European hub. I think we really are in the right position for forming this. We have been working on this for quite some time. It requires a final push, and then maybe that will work. So I should say, when I first started to get an interest in math and IT, so I think I was fascinated by the never-ending possibilities. So essentially everything, well, looked possible. So cars that drive us, not redriving them. Robots and programs that can operate, well, much better than any surgeon could do. So these are all these visions that you could achieve. So I think everything was positive. Now, if you look at the news, I think that the situation looks somewhat different. Many things really go wrong. So you have a lot of threats, and they look pretty much unlimited. So I think they're unlimited because digital transformation is really made at breakneck speed. So it's difficult to follow actually what's going on and also what's going wrong. It has become borderless. So things used to be national phenomena. I think it has changed. Cybersecurity attacks simply don't stop at borders. They're limitless, because we see bigger and bigger attacks, and frankly, I don't know exactly where a limit should be. If you look, for example, last year, then hospitals had to shut down because some strange people just hacked them and blocked the computers and people died. So apparently, the limits are essentially gone. We have hacking attacks on parliaments. We have hacking attacks on democratic institutions. We have, let's hope that this is not a bad sign. We have actually elections that probably went to different results because of hacking attacks. Yeah? And we also have this tiresome fake news debate that you follow. I think it's annoying, right, that people keep on claiming false stuff and get away with it. It's just ridiculous, something we have not seen 20 years ago. And it requires a lot of research. Yeah? So there's actually a few quotes that I collected which summarize things way better than I could. For example, President Juncker said in 2017 in his State of Union speech, and there I quote, "So cyber attacks can be more dangerous to the stability of democracies and economies than guns and tanks. They know no borders and no one is immune." Yeah. But I think in addition to this risk, there's a huge number of opportunities, right? They always have gone hand in hand. And being a researcher, there's just no option to put your head in the sand, but we really work heavily to get solutions to these kind of problems. So we confront this challenge. And I think we also have to accept that there are no islands anymore. So we have to work together because there are no borders. We have to work together to jointly develop solutions for our countries, for Europe as a whole, and then maybe the world, but maybe that's too tough. Let's focus on Europe. Yeah, that's something that seems doable. And if you see how Europe has evolved, it also has transcended its borders. So that's a development that I like a lot, right? So it has become way easier to work together across borders. And I think that's something in the end that we also should do. So to conclude, let me just say, I think our whole region was always, so this whole Lorraine, Saarland, Luxembourg region, that was always a model for Europe, I think, that worked. Yeah. So we were not the people that had to be told how Europe should work. I think we just used to live it in the last 30 years anyway, or 50 or more years. Yeah. So we are growing closer and closer. As far as research is concerned, definitely, but also as far as the people are concerned. And let me also then quote Robert Schuman in his initial speech. He said, "Europe will not be built in a day alone, nor as a part of some overall design. It will be built through practical achievements that first create a sense of common purpose." And this, I think, is what you wanted to say, because we need joint initiatives that also are deeply rooted in individual sites that later on become a success. And I think that's something that, well, I think we as researchers should clearly do in the beginning, because it's always the maxim of research to create new things and to go across borders. So given that we are in France, let me also quote Emmanuel Macron from this Strasbourg speech. I think that's the one I picked out. So he said that he's concerned that European is not willing to take risks and make investment in, for example, cybersecurity and the protection of personal data. And I think he is so right. Yeah, because this is the right time. So if there ever was a time where cybersecurity mattered, this is the right time. I mean, think about autonomous cars. They will become a reality in your lifetime, right? Do you notice? I mean, we got used to computer systems crashing, right? I mean, for your laptop, you notice, right? Every 2 weeks it crashes. And we just started to accept this, right? You just reboot. It's annoying, but you go on. Now imagine a car that just drives against the wall with you in it every 2 weeks. It's just not acceptable anymore. So it's the right time to actually invest this and make it better. And I have one more quote, again, being in France, from Victor Hugo. He says that, in the end, he gave the solution to the problem. He said, "The future has many names. For the weak, it means the unattainable. For the fearful, it means the unknown. For the courageous, it means opportunity." And I think that's exactly the way how we should handle this. We should, well, seize the opportunity to shape the future. And to conclude, let me say, for me, it's a personal push to now even try harder to make something jointly between Lauria on the one hand and CISPA on the other hand, to try to create this one unique project that we have been working on. And as a famous Japanese proverb says, that everything is doable because if you look up, there are no limits. Yeah. Thanks so much.
Alors, il était prévu, Jean-Yves, que tu viennes. Et que peut-être tu animes des questions-réponses qui pourraient être posées à Michael. S'il y avait des questions.
Il n'y a pas un exposé scientifique un peu plus complet?
Ah, il y a un exposé scientifique? Où?
On
est là? Oh, écoutez, excusez-moi.
Oui, c'est là, tu es là. C'est pour ça que je veux rester là. Bon, tu vas annoncer l'hymne européen.
Je vous propose, excusez-moi, j'ai sauté une ligne. Michael, on va se remettre debout. We have to stand up because now, before the scientific speech, we will close the official part by the hymne européen. So I ask you again to stand. Oui. Écoutez, c'est la fin de cette cérémonie. Avant que d'aller au cocktail, puisqu'il en a été le dernier cyber-rempart, je voudrais clôturer cette cérémonie en remerciant toutes les personnes qui ont permis cette cérémonie, les collègues du Lauréat, les collègues de Télécom Nancy, les personnes du cabinet, de la direction de la recherche et de la valorisation, de la communication. Et je voudrais inviter maintenant Michael à aller prendre un pot, comme on dit en France. Il comprend quand même un peu le français. Voilà. Et le partager ensemble avec lui. Et on lui a fait une petite surprise pour la musique de sortie. C'est parti ? On se rejoint au pot. Je vous remercie. Merci à toutes et à tous.
Run your fingers down the wall and have you felt your next step fall when you're searching for the light? Sometimes when you're scared to take a look at the corner of the room, you sense that something's watching you. Fear of the dark, fear of the dark. I have a constant fear that something's always near. Fear of the dark, fear of the dark.
No idea how they know, but I have them.
Someone's always there. Have you ever been alone at night? Thought you